Hello and welcome. In this presentation we're going to look at simple interest. So, as a brief description about simple interest, you can think of that as being pretty much about a young fella, I won't really mention his name, who wanders off to the bank with some money. So he walks over to the bank with some money and he leaves that money in the bank for a short period of time and he wanders back home again. So he wanders back home and just leaves that money in the bank for a period of time. So the clock will just tick, tick, tick as time goes by. Now, he, sometime in the future, will wander back to the bank and he will go to withdraw his money. He'll look to take his money out of the bank. Now, he will take out of the bank both the principal, in other words, how much money he invested, plus he will have a little bit extra, which is referred to as interest. When you combine the principal with the interest, that is referred to as the amount. Now, the things that actually define how much interest one will earn is 1, the actual interest rate. So that is what the interest rate, what the bank advertises. The other thing is how long you leave the money in the bank. So if you leave the money in the bank for a much longer time, you will earn more interest. And the last thing is how big your principal is. In other words, how much money did you invest in the bank? So if you invested a lot in the bank, you will earn more interest than if you invested a little. So they are the three things that will dictate the amount of interest one will earn when they invest money in the bank. So, yeah. The key formula that you need to be aware of when working with simple interest, the interest, this is the I, the interest, which is the amount of money in dollars, equals the P. Now the P is the principal, how much money I invested in the bank. The R, now that is the interest rate. So the R is the rate, and that rate is in a percentage. So for instance, currently it's around 6%, so the R would be 6. Now the T is how long, or the time. And the time is always in years. It's always described to be in years. And looking at this formula here, the amount, that's the A, that's in dollars, equals the principal plus the interest. So just recapping these two very important formulae. I, interest, equals the principal multiplied by the rate multiplied by the time divided by 100, and the amount equals the principal plus the interest. Okay, I'm going to move on to the two examples that we're going to work through now. So example 1, just reading this, calculate the simple interest paid on a loan of $5,000 at an interest rate of 16.4% PA. PA means per annum or per year. 16.4% interest over 4 years. So I will look to use this formula. I equals P times R times T divided by 100. So let's look at the values I have here. So I is what I'm being asked to calculate. let's have a look at these knowns. Now, the principal is how much money is being borrowed. All right, borrowed because it is a loan. We are lending $5,000. What is the rate? The rate is 16.4%, and the time is how many years? It is 4 years. I can put all those numbers into the formula and end up with $3,280. So there you go. I'll move on to the second example. This time, calculate the simple interest earned. Now this time I'm depositing money in the bank on an investment of $2,000 at 5% per annum interest over 4 years and 9 months. So again, what am I looking to find? I'm looking to find the simple interest. What is the principal? How much am I actually investing? I am investing $2,000. Now, what is the interest rate? Well, the interest rate is 5%. Now, the next one, what is the time? Well, you look at this and say 4 years and 9 months. And say, how do I work out the 9 months? Well, 9 months, I'll just have a little pen up here. 9 months is effectively 9/12 of a year. All right, and I've also got the 4 years, 9 months. So that equals 4.75. So again, the 0.75 is my 9-month component, 9 out of 12 months, and now I have 4 years. So back here, my time, 4.75 years. So over here, my formula, I substitute all those values into the formula, and that will give me a value of interest that is earned of $475. So if I go back to the bank after 4 years and 9 months, I will collect $2,000 plus another $475. Until next time.